guys, and welcome back to another video. My name is Maureen, and if you're new here on this channel, I do videos on lifestyle, travel, and mom/parenting related content. So if that sounds of interest, please join my YouTube family by subscribing to my channel. Don't forget to like this video and also comment below with any burning questions. So on today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you 10 things I wish I knew before becoming a mum. And if any of you mums out there are watching, let me know if you can relate to any of this by commenting down below and letting me know. So let's get into the video. The first thing is lack of sleep. I know this sounds like an obvious one. Obviously, you're not gonna get any sleep, but Lord, when I tell you lack of sleep is different, that stuff hits you differently. I literally didn't know how bad my lack of sleep or interrupted sleep was until when Ezra slept through the night at 7 months. I literally woke up and I was like, wow, this is what sleep feels like. This is what rest feels like. This is what uninterrupted sleep feels like. I literally felt like a brand new person. And I was like, this is how I used to sleep before the child. So lack of sleep is something you hear about, but literally you don't know how bad it is until you have a child. The second thing on my list is how painful breastfeeding can be. If you breastfeed, like you know, I felt like I knew it might feel like it might be a different sensation because obviously what's going on, but like cracked nipples, I mean, I also had blocked milk duct. Oh my gosh, it was so painful when I had that. Literally my boob was huge and it was so painful. Even to touch, it was so painful. The only thing that relieved this, and my friend Jessica, big up Jessica, told me to get into the shower and let hot water run down on the breast and basically massage it, and that's how I was able to relieve the breast and the pain to go away. But oh my god, if you get a blocked milk duct, it is the most painful thing after childbirth. Let's get real, it's really painful. Woo! The next thing is people judging you. Literally, people will judge you about, oh, you're giving your baby a pacifier. When are you gonna start having a pacifier? Oh, they're watching an iPad. How long are they gonna be watching the iPad for? Oh, they watch TV. Oh, what are you feeding them? How come you're giving them that? Oh, are you giving them sweeties? Oh, are you giving them crisps already? Oh, how come you're not giving them this? How come you're not giving them that? Oh, you're holding them for too long. Oh, you're spoiling them. Oh, you're doing this. Oh my gosh, like literally people are so judgy. People just give you advice over everything, and literally guys, the best thing to do is just to nod and say thank you. That's it. Just say, okay, thank you, I'll look into that. Or if someone goes, oh, maybe you should do this, just say, oh, thank you, thanks for the advice, I'll look into that. Like literally, because that cuts the conversation and they just don't keep going on about that thing, because at the end of the day, you parent how you want to parent. Some of the advice is good and you should look into it if you feel inclined to, but don't let people bully you into doing certain things or doing certain things or not doing certain things. So people can be judgy, but I've felt the best way to do that is just to acknowledge, thank them, and move light on ahead. Okay, the fourth thing on my list is how hard it is to leave the house. Yo, I don't know what it just takes so long to leave the house with a baby. You gotta get this, you gotta get that. Just before you leave, they poo themselves. Just before you leave, they need a feed, they're crying. Like it takes so long to leave the house. You literally have to start leaving the house at like 6 AM just to leave the house at 9. And that's no joke. I know my mummies, can relate to this. You literally start leaving the house at this time when you know you need to leave at this time. Like if you got a doctor's appointment or something, you need to be making sure you are trying to leave the house at least an hour before. And then you also need to allow the time to get into the car, put all your luggage in the car, put the child in the car seat, make sure you're all comfortable and strapped in before you leave. That alone takes a good 15-20 minutes just to set off. So literally how hard it is to leave the house with a child is another thing that I didn't know. I didn't take into account just how hard that is and how long that takes for you to actually get going. The next thing is time management and just how quickly time flies. When Ezra was younger, I'd literally get up and by the time I know it, it's lunchtime. I'm like, what? I'm like, what the hell have I been doing the last like couple hours? Literally all you're doing is like feeding them, changing them, they sleep, and then you might go get a cup of tea and then your tea goes cold, always. Time just goes so quickly. You'd get up and by the time you know it, it's the end of the day. If you haven't one appointment during the day, you get up, you go to the appointment, come back, it's the end of the day. Time just flies past with a child. Like things just it's, I don't know, maybe your emotion, you're doing things, so if therefore like you're not paying attention to the time like you would if you was working and you know you're waiting for 5 p.m. so you can go home. But literally with a child, time just flies by, literally. And then the other thing I didn't realize is just how long and how many times you would sit in the car waiting for your child to get up. And this is a personal choice because you can easily just wake your child up and take him inside the house, but literally when your child has fallen asleep and they've been struggling to sleep and then they fall asleep just when you're about to get home, you don't wake them up. You sit outside the driveway, you sit in the car. I sat in the car for 2 hours while Ezra slept, and he seemed to always have the sweetest sleep when he was younger in the car. So I would literally be sitting outside for a good 2 hours waiting for him to get up, just parking and just waiting until he gets up, because I didn't want to wake him up in the fear that if I get him up, by the time you know you've gotten out, he's got hit by the fresh air, by the time we get back upstairs, he doesn't want to sleep anymore. So you spend a lot of time just waiting for your child to sleep and get up. The next thing is just how hard postpartum recovery is. Like I think the things that I was anticipating to be hard just weren't that hard for me. And I know that like it's very like individual, like everything is individual. Like whatever happened to me might not happen to someone else, whatever happened to someone else didn't happen to me. So people always say, oh, you know, like the first poo that you have is gonna be, oh my God, and like the first pee that you take is gonna be burning like crazy. I didn't have any of those issues. The issues that I had is my pelvic. Like literally I couldn't walk, I was hobbling around. Like I literally didn't have, that was never anywhere. No one told me that my pelvis might be out of whack and I might be walking funny. Like I literally didn't know. I had no signs, like I didn't have any issues prior while I was pregnant, and then give birth and I can't even walk out the hospital. I couldn't pick up my leg to get into the car. Like I was like, what's this? What's this? What's going on? Literally, it was so hard. I was just, I remember getting into the shower like at like day 4 or 5 and just bursting into tears because I was like, my body isn't working. Like I'm used to my body working and doing certain things, and it's just not doing those things anymore. I can't get into the shower by myself. I can't get in to bed by myself. I need someone to help me to swing my legs onto the bed because my pelvic is out of whack. Like I just didn't anticipate those things, and I don't think people talk about postpartum recovery enough. And I know it is, as I said, is an individual case by case basis, but like since I went through that, I've been telling everybody like postpartum may be very hard for you, just be prepared. And if it's not hard for you, excellent, but if it is, I want you to know that it can be very difficult. And honestly, my biggest prayer is when I have another baby, for me not to have pelvic issues, because literally that was so hard on me. Literally so hard, and I'm just like, please God, like, let my child be fine, 100% well health for both of us, but in addition to that, please let me not have any pelvic issues, because that was literally hell. The next thing is just how exhausted you get, and I think because you're in the motion of doing and just being the mom and just taking care of your newborn, you just don't realize how exhausted you are. And what I noticed first was just like, obviously the lack of sleep and you're exhausted all the time, but even my lower back was starting to hurt. I was like, what's going on with the lower back now? I never had any back issues before. But it was because I was doing new movements. Like I was picking up a baby, I was putting a baby down, I was picking up a baby, putting a baby down. Like that motion that I wasn't used to doing was causing me backache, like severe backache. Yeah, just how exhausted you become from carrying the baby, putting the baby down, picking up the nappy bag, which at the early stages is full of everything to cover every incidentals. I mean, as you know, your child gets older, your diaper bag becomes less and less and less, and even becomes into your purse, because all you're carrying now is just a nappy and some snacks, but like nappy wipes and some snacks. But in the beginning, you've carried, carrying everything. You're carrying hot water, you're carrying formula, you're carrying nappies and excess, you're carrying so many things, change of clothes, like that, carrying that bag and carrying the baby and then the stroller and the car seat. Literally, you get exhausted, and then on top of that, whack on lack of sleep. Woo! Literally, the tiredness is real, and I literally got huge bags under my eyes. I was like, I never used to get dark circles and bags under my eyes. It's because I'm not sleeping. It's because I'm exhausted all the time. Nobody told me about this bit. The other thing that I didn't know before becoming a mom is that in the early days, you literally don't eat anything hot. You make a cup of tea, and I know my friend Rachel can relate to this. You literally make a cup of tea, and then the child needs something. So when you come back to the tea, it's cold. You bang it in the microwave, you warm it up. The same thing happens. You dash that tea, you make another cup of tea. Literally, you're always eating things cold. Even now, like, I always serve Ezra first, make sure he's ready, he's eating and he's doing whatever, so then I can go and eat my stuff, and I can at least eat or drink my stuff hot. Like, you literally have to do that first in order for you to have a hot drink or for you to have a hot meal. Even when you're out in restaurants, like, I take food for Ezra so he can eat first while we're waiting for the food, and when my food comes, hopefully I'll eat it when it's hot. Like, that just didn't cross my mind that I would be drinking cold drinks. It didn't cross my mind that I'd be eating cold food. I don't even like cold food. I don't like reheated stuff. So I'm like, oh, damn, why nobody tell me that, when I'm here to tell you that when you become a parent, you're likely going to be drinking cold stuff, cold things that are not meant to be cold. Now you know. To end this 10 things I wish I knew before becoming a mum is just the love of your child. Like, you think, like, you're gonna love your child. Like, you're like, it's gonna be my child, my offspring. I've produced this, I've been carrying this baby, I know how much I love this child. But literally, when you hold your child for the first time, the whoosh of love is undescribable. Like, from that moment, you can do and you will do everything for this child. Like, they are everything to you. That love is indescribable. Like, I cannot, like, it's honestly the best thing. It's the biggest reward after going through all these body changes, going through all these sacrifices, sacrificing your body to grow this child, going through morning sickness, going through backache, sciatica nerves, like going through all of these things, and then you finally get your child at the end healthy, and you're healthy, and you've survived giving birth, and then you have this child, and it's just like, oh my God, the love is so real. And then you spend the rest of your time just making sure that they're okay, and you spend the rest of your time doing everything, planning the future, planning everything, doting around this child. It's amazing. And that is why you go back and do it again, because you're just like, wow, I want this again. And I believe that's why people go back and do it again. And I think that's why I'm gonna, you know, potentially have another baby, because the love is just, oh, I just love my Ezra, and it's just the best feeling being a mum to that one baby. It's just amazing. And I'm sure you guys out there who are parents agree. And if you do so, let me know down in the comments. So that is the 10 things I wish I knew before becoming a mum. If there's anything else that you've experienced that I didn't mention on this video, let me know down in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. It really means a lot to me for your support. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.